Good morning, Curling World. Welcome, welcome to the second session on Saturday morning here at the ADELBODEN International. My name is Lorna Rettig and I will be guiding us through our first hosted game this morning. And that is between Team Hess from Switzerland and Team Sergio VEZ from Spain. Don't worry about the camera wobbling. If you weren't able to join us yesterday, it simply means that somebody's just opened the door to the ice hall and there's a little gust of air, but the camera isn't going to fall off, don't worry, and it's not that our players are wobbling around. So what are we watching this morning? We have Team Hess from Switzerland. They don't have last stone and they are throwing red stones, and we have Team Sergio VEZ from Spain. They do have last stone and they are throwing yellow. They do have quite similar uniforms, so we'll need to keep eyes on the stones. And this looks like a bright start there for Team Hess. Throwing red, yep, they've got two nice centre guards and a stone in behind, and Sergio VEZ still only about 30, I think, although he has been around for hundreds of years already. Very experienced skip. Very experienced at the highest level, Sergio VEZ. Sergio's mixed team, they have been vice world champions for Spain about 3 years ago in Canada, and Sergio has also picked up a bronze medal in the mixed doubles event. So plenty of experience. And for me, really one of the nicest people in curling, Sergio VEZ. So really happy to see the Spanish teams back. I think they weren't able to travel last year due to COVID restrictions and whatnot. And I know they've been here for a few weeks over summer practicing. So let's hope that pays off for them. But really nice to see the Spanish team back here at the competition. And Team Hess, if you were able to join us yesterday, we already had the chance to watch Team Hess. And don't get confused. The skip of Team Hess for this weekend is Marco Hösli, who typically plays with his brother. And they have swapped players for this weekend. What has happened is Marco Hösli and Yves Stocker, who typically plays with Team Hess, they have swapped places for the weekend because these four guys on Team Hess, they will be representing Switzerland at the Universiade in December, and they have swapped players to give these four a chance to play together, and seems to be working for them so far. They had a strong day at the office yesterday. They had a couple of wins. We watched them play really nice game yesterday evening against Team Klima from Czech Republic. They had a bit of a wobbly start, or not so consistent with the start, but they really picked themselves up, tightened up, and went on to win that game. So our second look at Team Hess for this weekend. And I can tell you who else is out there this morning. On sheet A, on the left of our screen, we have Team Walstad are playing young Team Rizzoli, junior team from Italy. Here in our featured game, of course that was a big sweep, first thing in the morning for the two sweepers there. We have Team Hess from Switzerland playing Team VEZ from Spain. On the other side of us, on sheet C, we have Team Dean Hürlimann playing Team Matti, all Swiss affair there. And over on sheet D, we have Team Klima, the Czech Republic team, playing Team Traub, also from Switzerland. I think that should be a good game. Both of those teams were in the Baden Masters a couple of weeks ago, Team Klima and Team Traub making the quarterfinals and pushing Peter de Cruz all the way to the last shot in those quarterfinals. So I think Team Traub will have high hopes for this weekend, and we will be keeping an eye on those scores this morning. I'm sure Sergio's experience with the mixed doubles will come in very handy. This more aggressive style of play that we're seeing more often now in the 5-rock free guard zone. Spain playing yellow with last stones. Not in too much trouble. I'm sure Sergio will be able to draw them out of trouble with last stone if needed. Now, if you were up very early this morning, we had Deputy Chief Stucki here in the technical room watching the game between Mercier of France, and they played Andre Schnider from Switzerland. And Schnider, they also had a pretty strong tournament in Baden. They worked ever so hard to get themselves in contention for quarterfinals, and they missed out by 7 centimetres, which I keep going on about as being really the difference between the Yannick Schwallers and the Peter de Cruzes and the up-and-coming teams. It's not a lot. You may think that Peter de Cruz goes out and just demolishes everyone 9 points to 2 every game, but that's not what happens. They are 7 centimetres only ahead of the following pack. So yeah, I think Andre Schnider's team, I'm sure they will have high hopes of doing well in this competition as well. And they had a nice comfortable win this morning over Team Mercier, 8 points to 3. And I can tell you how the other games went on the early draw this morning. Team Nyman from Sweden, they're quietly making very strong progress here. They had a really nice win, 9 points to 1 over Team Bangerter, a Swiss team from Bern. There was an all-Swiss game, Team Iseli playing Team Heinimann. That was a close game, and that was won by Team Heinimann, 7 points to 5. And then we had 2 foreign teams on sheet D this morning. That was the young team from Netherlands, their talent team, who unfortunately we won't have a chance to watch this weekend. They just haven't found their way to sheet B. But great to see another team from Netherlands coming out to play these competitions now. They're a young junior team, and they played Team Glukovh, the Russian team, who recently had a very strong performance in the World Championship. And that was a win for the Russian team, 8 points to 2. So I'm sure all of those teams now going back to the hotel for second breakfast and a bit of a rest. It's another long day today. We've got 5 draws again today. This is the second draw. Then we have 2 more draws in the round robin after this at 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock European. And at the end of all that, we shall have at 9 o'clock this evening the quarterfinals. And I often say that if you're going to watch one round in a competition, I would recommend the quarterfinals, because you typically have 4 games simultaneously, which are likely to be very close. So a couple of mistakes then in our featured game. That was a mistake from Team Hess catching the guard, but Spain not quite managing to take advantage of that and put another yellow in. So Team Hess getting away with a bit of a loose shot first thing this morning. And now he has another chance to remove that yellow. I don't think Sergio will be too worried. As you can see, the middle's quite open. And as I said, Sergio, hugely experienced. So he's ready to get the team out of trouble.
Just off nose.
So everything open.
Just nose. Okay.
This should be a fairly straightforward shot for Sergio.
10.
While Sergio is preparing for his first shot this morning, I can let you know how the groups are looking. So in Group A, as we said, Team Nyman just very nicely progressing in this competition. They are leading Group A, followed by Team Bangerter. Third place at the moment, Team Hürlimann. Fourth place is Schnider. They've got a bit of work to do today. And fifth place, Mercier. And in Group B, at the top of the pile at the moment is the Russian team Glukovh. Maybe not surprising. As I said, they had a very strong showing at World Championships just before summer. Then in Group C, Team Hess is top of the pile, the team we're watching, with Team Colli, the young Italians, and Team Traub following them. And in Group D, it's Team Hösli that we also got to see yesterday, who, as we said, they have Yves Stocker as their super sub for their weekend, and they are being chased by Team Iseli and Team Walstad, so still all to play for. Most teams still in with a chance of qualifying themselves for the quarterfinals this evening.
The back to hogs aren't making any sense right now. Like Luis, the one that was 15-2 from Luis, the split I got in the back to hog was 3-6. So
here in our featured game at the second ADELBODEN International, this should be a fairly straightforward removal for Jan Hess. And at the end of this first end, we'll say hello properly to the teams. Just that nice controlled weight again. He's quite happy if this red also hangs around. That's a really nice shot from Jan Hess. Difficult for Sergio VEZ to get a double takeout and blank the end. So I think Sergio VEZ with last stone of this first end. I don't think it's worth going for that double takeout. So I think he's doing the right thing and just accept that he's going to have to take 1 point at this first end. Looks like no trouble there. Nicely controlled by the sweepers and the vice skip, so nicely done by Sergio VEZ, scoring 1 point in this first end. So while they're tidying up and preparing for the second end, let's say hello to the teams properly. We watched Team Hess yesterday evening, and as I said, it's a slightly different lineup than they normally play. Fourth thrower is Jan Hess. Third thrower and skip for this weekend is Marco Hösli. Second thrower Simon Glur, and lead thrower Reto Schönenberger. And Team Sergio VEZ. Fourth and skip is Sergio VEZ. Third thrower Michael Unanue. I hope I said that properly. Again, if you're a Spanish speaker, and you want to correct me, I welcome it. Third thrower then, Mikael Unanue. Second thrower, Eduardo de Pats. And lead thrower, Nicholas Shaw. That's a more English sounding name. Maybe his family came from England before.
Viermal de force, hè? Alnering.
So in fact, my colleague says that Mikael, with the difficult name, is not in fact here this weekend. He's in Oberstdorf for the mixed doubles tournament, so he's getting a lot of practice. And it is their alternate player who is playing third this weekend, and that is Luis Gomez. So my apologies, Luis.
Yep.
All kinds of super subs going on this weekend. Here's a nice shot of lead thrower Reto Schoenenberger. He had a super game yesterday. Against Team Klima, as we were watching. And looks like he's starting off. Oh, he's just overthrown it. Maybe he had too much for breakfast. It's just gone a little bit too far. But let's shake out all those slightly looser shots in the first ends and find our weight for the rest of the game. Not a disaster. So once they put the score up, we'll see that Spain's only 1 point ahead. But definitely Nicholas Shaw, lead thrower with Spain. I don't think this will be any trouble for him to just punch that red through. And he gets a nice roll towards the centre. Really nice stuff from Nicholas. Well done. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. It's a lovely sunny morning here in ADELBODEN. The organising committee has done very well speaking to the tourist office to make sure that the sun is out for all of our visitors. It's really beautiful up here. If you use your imagination and try to think what a typical Swiss mountain town looks like, you are absolutely right. That's what ADELBODEN looks like. And that's a bit better. From Reto, he's adjusted that weight nicely. And Sergio VEZ is not allowed to remove that red yet. Only 4 stones been thrown. And good to see him throwing the aggressive stone here. He's going to put a guard up on the centre. As I said, Sergio, really hugely experienced, even though he's still pretty young, but he's been a skip for a long, long time. And tactically, he will know exactly what he's doing. So asking Eduardo de Pats for a guard. It sounds like they're saying it may be closer to getting into the house, actually. I know, it's putting on its brakes now. It needs to catch that big curl at the end. But I think that's found a nice enough spot. We've got 3 yellows ahead of tea. I'm sure Marco Hösli will not be pleased about that. So I think this is nice pressure from Spain. Not letting Marco Hösli settle and not letting him start getting red stones in play. If you're having nice leisurely breakfast curling and you want to say hello, feel welcome to join us. We welcome everyone here in the virtual club. It's a nice friendly place. Nice double there from Simon Glure.
Okay.
That's really removed most of the danger there. So what does Sergio do? He could play the aggressive stone, but I think this is a wise choice. It's only the second end. not giving Marco Hösli the chance to use that corner guard. Spain doesn't have so much resource as, say, Switzerland in terms of curling. They don't have so many facilities and don't have so much time on ice. So we may see the Spanish team just playing a little bit more defensively. So he doesn't quite manage to remove the danger there. There is still that corner guard that Marco can now use. But yeah, we may see Sergio being a little bit more defensive tactically, just because of that difference. So most of the Swiss teams and, say, the teams in Scotland, Norway, Sweden, etc., they typically have ice over the summer. So they can keep practicing, they can keep that consistency. It's a bit tougher for Spain. As I said, they were here in ADELBODEN for a couple of weeks over summer as well. It's a bit tougher for them to find resource and keep practicing. And the result is we may see them being a little bit more defensive. If you're going to play very aggressive stuff, you need to really be very consistent. You need to have that T-weight in your pocket. And speaking of aggressive, here's a nice looking shot. Nicely done by Simon Glor. And yeah, I think Sergio is wise to stick with that idea. Let's chase that red in, and if it curls too much and we manage to remove that corner guard and maybe bounce across towards the middle, that's a nice plan B.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but careful boys, I'm not sure that needs sweeping. I think that wants to grab a curl. I think he's got the right weight. But yeah, he didn't quite grab the right curl. I think the plan B for that shot, as we said, was to catch the guard. And now he ended up not really getting any result with that stone. And that gives Marco Hösli the opportunity to already remove that stone in the 4 foot that they need to remove to score anything. Again, that nice controlled weight. They want this red to hang around. But they have left a possible double opportunity for Spain. And even if they just remove this one, this red just next to Sergio's brush, and roll towards that other red, that could be a very nice shot to put a bit of pressure on Hess to maybe cancel out that red on the left of our screen. So this is Luis Gomez. It's the alternate player for Spain. It's not Mikel, who is playing mixed doubles. He's not far off. Really nice shot from Luis. Well done. Cancels out both of those reds. That's a very satisfying shot to get early in the game. Gives you a bit of confidence, a nice little boost. Good morning, Curling Hoot in the chat. Up early in Michigan. So this is definitely breakfast curling for Michigan rather than brunch curling. Thank you for joining us, Curling Hoot. If you want to say hi or let us know what you're doing for your weekend or what you're looking forward to watching curling-wise, we love to hear it. Now they're really sweeping for line on this stone. That's a great sweep. They've got the roll just perfectly. Well, you can see that stone has been getting closer and closer to the front of the rings every time it's been hit or moved, and indeed this is a good call from Sergio. A very makeable shot for him to play that yellow back onto the red. First shot for Sergio VEZ in the second end then. They were on that right away. He's certainly got the guard, and he does get the red. Nicely done. Good sweep there from the boys to keep that online. He has left that guard out front, but I think that was a really nice effort from Sergio. Again, remove that dangerous red. That was the idea. If you're just joining us, good morning, or good afternoon if you're further east than we are. We're at the second ADELBODEN International 2021 edition. And our featured game this morning is Team Jan Hess, who we're looking at throwing just now. That is Jan Hess, playing Sergio VEZ of Spain. So Jan Hess trying to replace that red behind the corner guard, and hoping that Sergio VEZ cannot play the same shot twice. And Marcus Højberg doing a good job keeping all the stones in sheet A on the left there. So not quite what Jan Hess was looking for. I fancy that Sergio VEZ will be able to see most of that red. That should be fairly straightforward for him to remove. And again, he will want the yellow to hang around and force Jan Hess to play a shot rather than hitting and rolling out. And then we will surely see Jan Hess blank this end. So it looks like he maybe just turned that a little bit tight just as he was releasing it. You can see Sergio watching it the whole way up, but yep, no trouble there. I'm sure he knows how he throws himself, so I'm sure he gives the correct ice for his own throw. And that's exactly what he wanted. And it's unlikely that he'll get a mistake here from Jan Hess, but you never know.
I didn't want to call it too certain and have it cut.
So I think it's unlikely Jan Hess will miss completely and give up a steal of one. But it is possible that Jan might hit and stick this stone. What Jan wants to do is hit and roll out, because then they can hold on to last stone without just giving up 1 point, or rather without just taking 1 point. And you see this happen from time to time. They're trying to go for a hit and roll out. No trouble this time, and occasionally you don't get a hit and roll out, you get a hit and stay, but no trouble there for Jan Hess. And why is it important that Jan doesn't really want to pick up just 1 point there? That's because picking up 1 point with your one last stone is the default. And if we did that all game, you would simply swap ones for 8 ends and you would end up with a score of 4 each. So if you want to win the game, you have to do something more than picking up 1 point with last stone. And that is why Jan Hess doesn't really want to only pick up 1 point. They'd rather keep last stone into this third end, try and get more stones in play, and try and pick up 2 points or more. So while they're having a team chat to make sure we're all aligned what we're doing this end, let's take a look what's going on elsewhere. On the left of us, on sheet A, this is a bright start from young team Rizzoli from Italy. They are leading 2-0 after 2 ends. They are leading team Walstad from Norway. In our featured game here, that was a blank end in the second, so that's still 1-0 to Sergio VEZ from Spain over Jan Hess. On sheet C, on our other side, that's after 2 ends, that's a score of 1 each between team Dean Hürlimann and team Matti. All Swiss affair there. And over on sheet D, team Klima from Czech Republic against team Traub from Switzerland. That's 1-0 to team Traub after 2 ends. I think that will be a close one over on sheet D. There's a nice start from Nicola Shaw for team Spain. I think we'll see quite a similar setup that we had in the second end. Sergio VEZ will be trying to drive play towards the middle. And but actually, Marco switching up the tactics a little bit here. He's not going for the corner guard. Now, why was he doing that? As we've said, if you just do this for 8 stones, we're going to get another blank end. And I suspect that's exactly what Marco is looking for. Now, why does he want that? It's because this is end 3. It's not an even numbered end. And even at this early stage, it could be that Marco Hösli is thinking that he would rather retain last stone in the even numbered ends, because if you have last stone in the even numbered ends, that should mean that you have last stone in the 8th end, and that could become very important. So that's probably what Marco's thinking. He's a clever player, Marco Hösli. Although having said that, I'm not quite sure what the rationale is for this. So he could have put up a corner guard with his first throw, but didn't. He seemed to want to move that dangerous shot from the centre, and now that there isn't anything in the centre, now he's going for a corner guard on the other side. So this is interesting. Maybe if Spain had got that roll the other way, if Spain had rolled that yellow back to the centre, we might have seen Marco doing the same thing again. But this is interesting. Sergio not getting dragged into these Swiss tactics. He's going to keep driving towards the centre. Can't remove that corner guard just yet.
Ja, wenn halb versteckt. Lang ganz versteckt, dass
Tres.
Second thrower, Eduardo de Paz for Team Spain. He's looking for a guard that's just short of the house. A nice tight guard. This one may be running on a little bit. It is, but yeah, that does unfortunately give Marco the opportunity to use that corner guard if he can get a nice hit and roll. If you're just joining us, don't get confused. You are looking at Marco Hösli, and he is playing for Team Hess. Those two teams have swapped players this weekend. Marco is playing with the rest of Team Hess, and Yves Stocker is playing with the rest of Team Hösli. Now he's certainly not getting a roll to our left, so he's not going to be able to use that corner guard. And again, the choice is, do you want to remove the guard, or do you want to go for the shot? The only stone that's really dangerous for Sergio is that corner guard. But this is a nice idea. If he removes that red, if he can find that roll to our left behind cover, then again that means we would have 2 yellows in play, and that would potentially keep Marco Hösli busy rather than letting them start building. No reds in the house, there's no points, but looks like I don't think they're going to find the roll either. So, as you were. That yellow in the front of house again. Looks like they're still deciding what's the best idea here. Looks like Marco does want to use that corner guard, but maybe getting a bit concerned with the yellows hanging around. So it looked like the double was what was called, or at least the hit and roll over to the wings. This looks like a happier line. Great effort from Simon Glure. It's very difficult to get the roll millimetre perfect. And you can see just that couple of centimetres between those stones. That means that Sergio does have now the chance to just cleanly remove that red. They would have liked it to roll just a little bit further, about half a stone further, and then it would be in front of the yellow, have a little bit more protection there. But this end going quite nicely again for Spain, I think. I would say definitely the pressure's on Jan Hess's team, or rather, I think Jan Hess's team should be expected to win this game. So nothing to lose for Spain. And they removed that red, very nice. And again, now Marco has a choice. Does he want to remove that yellow and keep the play over there where Jan Hess is pointing? Or you could just ignore that yellow and use your corner guard and draw one in behind that and try and get a mistake from Sergio VEZ. So it looks like they want to keep the play away from that corner guard at the moment. Make it hard for Sergio VEZ to hit and roll behind cover. We have superfan Michaela in the chat. Good morning from California. Nobody is quite sure when Michaela manages to find time to sleep. I know she's busy with her different screens, watching all the curling going on this weekend. There's a competition in Scotland for the men's and ladies teams, and there's also a mixed doubles competition in Oberstdorf, where the normal third player for Spain is playing today. And that's exactly what Team Hess called, was that hit and roll away from cover. You can see there's a huge space between where Sergio VEZ is holding the broom and getting it to roll behind cover. I don't think that's what they're going for. I think they just want to mix up the angles a little bit. Don't give Marco Hösli the same stone to throw again. So alternate player for Spain is throwing third today. That's Luis Gomez. You can see it's a really strong sweep from Eduardo de Paz. Is he going to hold on to the line? Yes, he is, just an edge of it. That's all he needs. But with that yellow rolling out, that's exactly the half shot that Team Hess was waiting for, and that means that finally they are now able to try and bring that corner guard into play. So we may see Sergio VEZ having to do another run back. Let's see.
weniger. Läuft gut da, hä? Seine 15-0 gewesen. Natürlich.
Sounds like everyone's happy with it. The sweepers say the weight is good. Jan saying the line is good. This does look very nice. Look at that. Perfect shot from Marco. And one more thing, we don't want to sweep. He could not have taken the stone up there and placed it much better. And we will now see Sergio VEZ playing the run back again.
Oh yeah.
We saw him make it in the last end, so I'm sure he'll be feeling confident to go for this one again. Yeah, smiles from Marco and Jan behind the back line there. As I said, this is a practice weekend for them with this formation. Marco and Yves Stocker have swapped places. They've swapped teams for the weekend because this team in front of us, Team Hess, featuring Marco Hösli, they are playing in the Universiade Games. That's in Luzern, just up the road from here, in December. And yeah, I think this constellation working pretty well so far. And has he got it again? I think he has. Nice work, Sergio. He's just picking off these raised takeouts right and left. That's good work. Again, he has left that one guard out front. But he's removed the corner guard, he's removed the stone in the house, that immediate danger. And if he wants to play that same shot again, it would now be a yellow stone he's driving back into the rings. So I think this is a bright start for Spain. As I said, I think really the pressure on Team Hess here. I would expect Team Hess to win this game. So Team Spain have nothing to lose. If they can pull off a bit of an upset, so much the better. All the games this weekend, we'll be watching Sheet B all weekend if you want to check ahead. And all the games that we've been watching, they will be in the video tab for this YouTube channel. So if you had to have a normal job yesterday and you're not able to have Secret Office curling in the background, don't worry, you can catch up with yesterday's curling in the video tab on this channel. And it looks like, indeed, Sergio VEZ is going for exactly the same shot. Yellow onto red this time. He could, if he's clever about it, he could leave a yellow hanging around in the rings and force Jan Hess to make a shot. I think about the same distance between the stones as it was for his previous raised takeout.
Luis! Oh! Luis! Forte! 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 Forte, Luis!
He's not far off, and he gets it really nicely again. So good work here from Sergio VEZ. And the rest of the Spanish team, they're really keeping themselves in this game. As I said, we may see Sergio's team playing that a little bit more defensively. Just because they don't have as much time on the ice, they don't have as much resource curling-wise as, say, a Switzerland or a Sweden. And it's working for them. They're not giving Team Hess a chance to settle and put a whole bunch of stones in play.
Yeah.
And they've already put up a blank end. So same again, Jan Hess not interested in scoring just 1 point and giving up last stone. They're just going to be patient and keep trying. Keep trying to put stones in play, keep trying to get reds to hang around, and Spain will be doing exactly the opposite. It's really working for them, keeping everything tidy, keeping everything clean, not letting stones build up. Definitely a more interesting game than the score might suggest, I would have to say. I think Team Hess are trying to keep guards in play and try to get some red stones hanging around, but Spain doing a really nice job of just keeping everything clean. And while Nicholas Shaw is starting us off in the third end, sorry, the fourth end now we're getting to the halfway point. I can update you with what's going on around the sheet this morning. I think on sheet A they haven't quite put up the score from the third end. Next door on sheet C, very close affair. It's Team Dean Hürlimann against Team Matti, and that's a score of 2-1 to Team Matti after 3 ends. And another tight game over on sheet D, that's Team Klima from Czech Republic, whom we watched yesterday evening. They're playing Team Neutraub, young Swiss team. And that's 1 each after 3 ends, so another tight game over there. A very typical start in this fourth end from both teams.
Okay.
Nicholas Shaw in your picture there, setting up the ends very nicely for Spain. Those blank ends tell us how nicely Nicholas is playing, and that Hess is not getting the chance to set up the end just exactly how he wants, because Nicholas is setting up this end nicely for Spain, and Hess having to do a bit of hoovering. Yeah, really nice stones again from Nicholas. He's having a good morning's work out there. So yeah, I think it's time for Marco to try something a little bit different. So let's indeed try and get that, what they want to be their second shot in behind the counter, in behind the corner guard. And this takes a bit of courage to do it this way. So Reto Schönenberger also having a nice game. He had a very strong game yesterday evening when we were watching. It takes a bit of courage to do it this way, because you know that even if Reto makes a perfect shot here, and this looks like a very nice effort, you know that Sergio VEZ is likely to put something else on the centre line. You know you're maybe looking at 3 opposition stones on the centre. Not allowed to move that corner guard yet, Sergio. So what he could do is bring another stone into play on the centre and keep Jan Hess, or, well, skip Marco Hösli. I like that, Sergio, yep, exactly. Let's keep playing towards the centre, keep Team Hess busy there. Try not to let that corner guard and the counter behind it, try not to let that come into play. So, first stone in this fourth end for second thrower Eduardo de Paz.
Dos, tres. Limpia. Top 12. Top 12. Es alto. Top 4.
The sweepers are calling the stone to land in the front of the house. So it's travelled on a little bit further than they maybe wanted. But I quite like that. I think that's found quite a nice spot there. If Marco and Team Hess want to score anything in this end, they will have to do something about those 2 yellows in the forefoot. So they do have that lovely stone in behind corner guard. But 3 stones from Spain towards the centre of the ice, and at some point they will have to do something about those. Looks like they're going to get rid of one of them here. That is a super shot, yeah. You can see indeed that just that gentler weight means that that red also hangs around, so that was a really nice shot. They've moved one of the yellows away from the forefoot and spun their shooter in behind cover, so really good stuff there. Now Sergio deciding this is getting a little bit dangerous over here, having these reds piling up behind that guard. And we saw a stone going past everything before, so I imagine Sergio and the team have had a chat about that and said, okay, like, if we don't make the shot, then let's make sure we at least move the guard out of the way. So this looks like a better effort. It sounded like the sweepers were happy with the weight. That's it. There, so he didn't get exactly the shot they were going for, but they've moved that corner guard out of the way, the dangerous guard. And because they had that nice controlled weight, that yellow is also now hanging around. So that was a nice plan B. They need to be careful though in this end, Spain. Team Hess has the last stone, and they don't want to let too many reds start building up. I fancy this yellow in the forefoot won't be there much longer. And then Sergio VEZ will need to make a decision whether he wants to go for the defensive stones and try and start moving some reds out of play, or whether he wants to try and outscore those reds by being more aggressive. So a bunch of reds hanging around. That yellow that just jammed in the 8 foot, that could be a bit of a lifesaver, but really important now for Spain is, so yeah, as we see Sergio going a bit defensive, I think that's the right call. There are 3 reds hanging around, even though that yellow is counting second shot. Really nice would be a hit and roll to our left, just somewhere along that line where the 2 yellows are already, the yellow guard and the yellow in the 8 foot. That would be just perfect. But really important for Spain from now on is that whenever they're hitting, they need their stone to hang around, otherwise they're going to be looking at a hatful. So important this yellow hangs around. Oh, look, he's even got a double. What a nice stone that is from third thrower Luis Gomez. Good stuff there. He's normally the alternate for this team, but having a super game out there this morning. That's really cleared up a lot of danger. If that stone had gone a bit wrong, if that yellow had rolled out, then guess what, that back yellow would be away and you would be looking at about 3 reds. So that was a really super shot from Luis Gomez. As I said, this defensive game working well for Spain. They're just not letting things build up. They're hitting very well this morning. Look at that though. Lovely double takeout with no weight at all from Marco Hösli. So controlled, and he's got a happy little roll behind that corner. Well, it's even more than a corner guard. It's almost like an edge guard over there. So really super shot from Marco. Michaela in the chat says she enjoys how the games on WCT are not geo-blocked. I know sometimes that can be a thing for, say, the Worlds or Pacifics or Europeans. Depends who has the television rights, I believe. But no, WCT is it's available for everyone. Always welcome. And we very much like it when people say hi to us in the chat. It's nice to all watch together. That's another nice stone from Louis Gomez. He would like it to roll a little bit further, but that's found a decent spot.
Ja, mit 11 kannst du probieren, möglichst weit. Ist gut? Ja. Ist okay, ja. Danke sehr.
If you have ideas for how your WCT experience could be better, we're welcome to all feedback as well. We don't take it personally. This looks nice again from Marco. Marco having a really good game this morning. So that raid still open for Sergio. Again, really important that this yellow that Sergio's about to throw, important this hangs around. Otherwise he's giving Marco a free draw, or it will be Jan Hess next actually. He will be giving Jan a free draw. But yeah, you can see Nicholas looking at that. They need to take care that that red doesn't just squirt straight back onto the yellow and hang around in the back ring. Says. So it does catch that back yellow, but doesn't jam. But it does roll out, and now that has given Marco a free draw. He can put the stone anywhere he likes. But not as straightforward as it might look, this idea. So if he puts a stone right behind the middle, then what Sergio VEZ will do is simply follow it in, and he may make it very difficult to get to bring that red on the right of our screen, to bring that back into play. So this looks like a good idea. He's actually going to ignore that yellow in the middle and draw to the opposite side of the house. So the same idea, but on the far left of our screen. And then he leaves Sergio a choice. So either Sergio can remove one of the reds. I don't think there will be a double available, or Sergio would have to draw around that centre guard himself, but that's a much higher risk shot. So this is good call, just ignoring that centre guard. Sounds like the sweepers are pretty happy with it. Just perfect would be completely level, but yeah, I think it's a ridiculous across the house double. Yeah, that absolutely perfect there. So there's no double take out available for Sergio. Indeed, his best chance here is just as he was indicating. So he wants to remove that red and roll in behind that yellow. It's a bit too risky to simply go for the draw. If he gets that wrong, very likely they would lose 3 red. So at least if he removes one of the reds, they're losing a maximum score of 2. And if he gets this shot just perfect, they even may have a chance of stealing. So all important is the roll here. This yellow really wants to hang around. give Jan Hess a bit of a more difficult shot.
Whoa. Cento. Whoa. Whoa. Edu. Whoa. Edu. Forte. Forte. Boy.
Has he got the roll? Not quite. But that still forces Jan to play a shot. There's always a chance that Jan Hess might hit this yellow and roll out. But this was well worked from Jan Hess's team in this end, actually. You could see they just got a couple of really nice hit and rolls behind cover. And this is what they'll have been waiting for. Wow. Just that patient play and thinking, yeah, well, if we keep doing this, we'll start to get our rolls just a little bit better. Make it too difficult for Spain to clear up. And it looks like their patience is about to be rewarded. Important this red hangs around, otherwise all that work is a little bit in vain, but it sounds like everyone's happy with it. Nice and controlled. Good shot from Jan Hess, so patiently done there from Team Hess. The difference with that end was they just made it a little bit too difficult for Spain to remove the red counters, and their patience has paid off, and they do score a nice big 2. So that makes the score at the halfway point in our featured game. That makes the score 2-1 between Team Hess from Switzerland and Team VEZ from Spain. On sheet A next door. I think they're a little bit behind, but they're in their 4th end, but after 3 ends, that's a score of 2-1 for Team Iseli over Team Walstad. You can see that on the left of the screen as we look at it. On sheet C next door, I think they are also still in their 4th end, and that's still a score of 2-1 to Team Matti over Team Dean Hürlimann. And on sheet D, it's still a score of 1 each after 3 ends between Team Klima and Team Traub. So we're at the halfway point in our featured game here at the 2nd ADELBODEN International. And we've seen Spain play really nicely defensively. Let's see what they've got aggressively.
Bandos.
2-1 at the halfway point. Nice close game out there.
Whoa. Espera, línea, espera.
Aggressive first one from Jan Hess. Temporarily holding the brush for Marco. And a nice aggressive response from Spain. And another nice stone there from Nicholas Shaw. He's having a really strong game out there this morning. Now, what will be the strategy for this 5th end? Spain has last stone. Spain throwing yellow. Marco quite happy to keep play towards the centre. Team Hess won't mind if Spain score 1 point, because then Team Hess will get last stone back again in the 6th end. And that's exactly what they're trying to set up now, so they're not too bothered about that yellow stone. They don't mind if that yellow stone ends up being 1 point. They just don't want to make it any more than that, and that's what that red does.
Okay.
So you may think, oh, that's not such a great shot for red. It's in front of the yellow. Yes, it is, but it's making it very difficult to get a second yellow in. And that's why they put it there. So looks like Sergio VEZ is calling a similar kind of shot. Let's get a second yellow in towards the forefoot and towards the centre. And as I said, Sergio has won a bronze medal at the Mixed Doubles World Championship. He knows all about angles piling towards the centre. Maybe his mixed doubles experience will come in handy in this end.
Shit. Yeah.
I think they didn't quite find the curl there though, because I have an idea you can get rid of both yellows here. Yeah, if you hit it just where Marco's showing, I think both yellows go. And the red might be hiding behind cover after this. So nice weight from Nicholas Shaw that just didn't quite find the right curl. Let's watch this. I think this could be a really satisfying shot actually. He needs to hit it just on the left of centre of the yellow stone as we're looking at it. Yes, no sweeping, normally fine. Ooh, that caught quite a curl at the end, didn't it? I think that caught too much curl, in fact. They maybe needed a little more weight on that. Well, it certainly removed one of the yellows and punched the remaining yellow behind T. So this is looking very much like a mixed doubles end. I think Sergio needs to get another yellow in there before he wants to remove the guard out front. If he removes the guard out front, I think Marco will just start cleaning the whole house, and I don't think Sergio will have a chance to build an end here. So I think this is a good call. We want to remove that red. I think there is a double there, and then spin towards the centre. Then you'd have two yellows, hopefully behind cover. And even if it's a hit and roll, that's a nice shot as well.
This medio. Fuerte Luis. Fuerte Luis. Fuerte. Fuerte. Fuerte Luis.
Giving it a big sweep. Keep it cut. Yep, I think he's going to get a nice roll. So he doesn't get the double, but I think that's a really nice shot. There indeed, we've got two yellows in the forefoot. At least somewhat covered by that centre guard, so I think this is a quite nicely set up for Spain. You can see Marco's not calling a hit. He can't see enough of the yellows to call a hit and remove them both.
Achtung! Ja! Ja! Wie noch? In een vier! Ja! In acht hebben Halt! Ja! Ja, ja! Weiter! In een vier! Weiter! Ja, ja! Halt! Gaan weiter! Knap, Fries! Yep, yep, yep! Hey, goed, Fries! Goed! Super stijl!
Golly, getting awfully busy in that forefoot. Again, you might think, that doesn't really do much. Simon Glure's stone there. But what it's doing is setting up some angles for a future shot. Because now if you would come on the opposite handle, the counterclockwise handle, you may be able to punch Simon Glure's stone onto yellow and remove those yellows. So those two reds in the forefoot in quite a dangerous position. So I think this now does make sense. What Sergio doesn't want is to get stuck with a whole heap of reds behind that guard. And I think this does make sense, even if they have to bail out this end. If Sergio doesn't end up having a chance to build stones. That's okay, they're only 1 point behind. And they could get another chance in the sixth.
für später, oder nicht? Man spielt er eh nochmal. Dann können wir auch so.
So now what do you want to do? You could certainly use either one of those reds
Da haben wir eben nicht viel im Moment.
to punch back onto the yellows. They're really trying to work out where everything would sit afterwards. You do have 2 yellows in there, and that's exactly what Sergio was doing, waiting until he had 2 yellows, and then removing the guard, and then asking the question of Team Hess. Well, it looks like they may be putting another red in front of house to make sure those reds are very safe in front of everything.
Linie gut! Linie gut!
Ja, kannst. Ja,
Reto!
Reto.
Weit!
Carla, ja.
Weit! Weit! Komm noch!
And in fact, it looks like they want to
Ja!
simply replace that guard.
Weggewischt. Gut! 17,5.
Team Hess doesn't have last stone, so playing towards the centre generally helps them. And again, what they're hoping for is if they can get a miss from Sergio VEZ and still have some kind of centre guard in play, then they could really make their life quite difficult by playing around that centre guard, punching through one or both of those yellows. Then Spain would still have that guard out front in the way and make their life very difficult to score at this end. So Sergio may be just thinking, just to try to put a little bit of space now between the stones, make it a little bit harder to use those reds to punch out the yellows. Or you could do the same again and just remove that centre guard. I quite like that, I think, just to remove the centre guard again.
You're always going to get the back one with that one, aren't you?
I think the danger with ignoring that guard and playing towards the 4 foot is that you may be playing into the tactics of Jan Hess there, and if you get your angles slightly wrong, then you could be in a bit of trouble. They will then use those angles to punch out your yellows and have a couple of reds in behind that cover. So I feel like I still quite like removing that guard. You've got last shot, Spain.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Ja,
you need to keep it here.
Von links müsstest du einfach ziemlich schnell kommen.
And if you tried to draw in here, that's what I was thinking as well. You nose the run and you try and get one of these. Yeah. The only thing I don't like is it's their rock. I say nose the run, otherwise the peel. You gotta have a shot.
Yeah, I like the idea of a nose hit as well.
You know out. Out. No, it's nose.
I said, like Nicholas was saying, if we do this, we drive that centre guard back into the pile. That should certainly move things around in the 4 foot, and then whatever Hess's tactics are, they should still have some kind of shot for skip stones. I'm not sure they're going to drive it back, but they've certainly just removed it, and that's fine as well.
Está bien, está bien.
Okay, ja. Frage ist noch, ob wir schiessen, dass alles weg ist, oder nur tap.
I think this is fine. Don't play into Team Hess's tactics here. They want Sergio VEZ to ignore that guard to try and play a more dainty shot around the guard and move things around. That's exactly what Team Hess would like to see. But now you're throwing the question back to them. Put the ball or the stone back in their court and force them to come up with an answer to how to close out this end.
Achtung! Ja!
Besseret!
Ja!
Tipp!
Ja!
Hard!
Ja!
Fest!
Ja!
Fest! Kom nu!
I'm not quite sure where the ideal position was for that shot to end up. Looks like Sergio thinks there is a double takeout available. Remove both of those dangerous reds ahead of tee, and with any luck, leave a yellow lying in their place.
Wenn wir 3 schiessen, haben sie recht easy Double. Ja, schnell mal auf den
Second stone then for Luis Gomez, normally alternate player, throwing third today. He looks pretty accurate, I think. Let's see if Sergio's right. Has he got all the angles? Nice effort from Gomez again. He's having a nice strong game also. Really nice stuff there. 3 yellows still in the house after that shot, but only 1 red, so really nice effort from Gomez, giving Spain a really good chance here. Nice job from Sergio VEZ, seeing that stone was possible.
Exactly.
Yeah, Marco and Jan having a good look at this now. That's really switched things up. That nice stone from Gomez.
Das ist so. Ich sehe sonst nicht viel. Eben der, aber
4 stones to come then, 2 each. With Spain throwing yellow stones, they have the last shot in this 5th end. We've seen Spain playing some very nice defensive stuff in the first half of the game. And they're certainly giving themselves a chance in this 5th end with a bit more aggressive play to score some points. So let's see if Jan Hess can remove a bunch of stones now. It's hard for me to tell from my angle if there's a triple takeout available. I'm not too sure. But I think he wants to move at least 2. And again, ideally, he wants this red to hang around as well.
It might jam. I can see the top one jamming and rolling behind the guard.
Whoa!
It's wide.
Whoa!
Really wide.
Whoa! What's the catcher?
Oh, he's just got the 1 though. Well now.
But be careful.
Looks like the camera shaking its head in disbelief at that. So, big chance here for Spain.
It's hard, I know, but
3 stones to come only, 2 for Spain, and only 1 more shot for Hess.
I think that will always jam.
Looks like they're talking about all the angles. What they don't want, it's easy to remove this red, that's not a problem for Sergio. What they're saying to themselves is, once we've removed that red, where do we want the yellow that we're throwing, where do we want that to land? Because what they don't want is to leave Jan a nice easy double. They want to give themselves as much chance as possible to score multiple stones in this end.
You don't want to do that, okay.
So the problem is
you leave it double,
not how to remove the red, that's easy,
right.
the red's wide open.
Okay, just off nose. You go 10.5?
Essential that this yellow hangs around as well. They had a tough day yesterday, Sergio's team. They had a couple of really close games, but still looking for their first win. Bound to come good eventually, though.
Porteiro! Porteiro! Muy forte! Porteiro! Muy forte!
He's a lovely strong sweeper, is Eduardo de Paz, isn't he? So that looks like a nice tidy shot from Sergio. 1 stone each to come then. Now, can Jan Hess get rid of all 3 of those yellows? Or has Spain worked this end really nicely and give themselves a strong chance to get 2 points straight back?
Ja. Sicher möglich.
Ja, bei dem ist halt heikel, wenn du nachher blitzdünn hast und der nicht rausgeht.
Ja, ich
I
denke,
don't think you
Priorität
can
ist
get rid of
sehr
all 3 yellows. Again, I'm not at the best angle, but I'm not convinced you can. So he needs to think, okay, how can we get at least a double takeout
akzeptabel.
and put the red in a hopefully difficult position.
In.
But if you're a Spain fan, this end looking pretty nice. So Jan will want to tighten up a little bit. He was a little bit loose with his first shot, only removing 1 yellow instead of 2.
Oh, Achtung, ja! 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 Ja, ja!
He's got some kind of double, I think.
Okay.
Oh, he did well to sneak that yellow past, but definitely Sergio has a chance to score 2 here. Yeah, I think let's come the other way. Make sure we're punching that red through the back. Make sure we're keeping that red well away from the yellow in the back ring. Now you've done the hard work, Spain. Let's finish it off nice and cleanly. This is really good stuff from Spain. They won't get a much better chance to make 2 points than this kind of shot. And that was really nice angles. It was a good setup from Nicola's shot. And the first stones, nice consolidating play from Eduardo de Paz, and that lovely big shot from Luis Gomez to scatter the stones around and get rid of the reds. So good luck, Sergio. Let's have a nice shot here. Oh yes, I think let's sweep that. We know it catches a big curl at the end. We don't want it to jam. Has he squeaked it past? I think he has. Oh, just enough. He's just having a look, but I think he's done enough for 2. Yeah, we know it catches that huge curl at the end, so better safe than sorry. And I think that looks like a lovely worked end from Spain. 8 really nicely played stones. Smiles all round. So I'm fairly sure that was a score of 2. Sergio going to put it up for us. It was. Great stuff from Spain. Really well worked from all 4 of them. And after 5 ends then, that gives us a score of 3 points to 2 for Team Spain over Team Jan Hess of Switzerland. Let's see what everyone else is up to on sheet A on the left of our screen. Work to do here for Team Walstad of Norway. It is 3-1, as you can see in the top left of our screen. It's 3-1 to young Team Iseli from Italy. They're having a nice strong weekend, the 2 young Italian teams. So some work to do for Team Walstad to catch that game.
You think it's our top 4, huh?
It's 3-2 for Team VEZ over Team Hess on our featured game. Next door on sheet C, still going toe-to-toe over there. It's 4 each between Team Hürlimann and Team Mati, both from Switzerland. And over on sheet D, another very tight affair. After 5 ends, it is 2-1 to Team Klima over Team Traub. I thought that would be a close one.
Den ist gut. 2 Wanger. Sehr hoch.
6th end then in our featured game here at the second ADELBODEN International.
Den ist gut.
Pretty familiar start. We're getting used to seeing really nice shots from Nicola Shaw and from Reto Schonenberger to set up the end. Good morning, Mac Dorridge from Luzern. He's enjoying the match and saying great stuff from the Basques. I totally agree. As I said, a bit of a tough day at the office yesterday for the Spain boys. They had a couple of really close games, but still looking for a first win. But certainly, I think the longer they're on ice, the more dangerous they're likely to get. And they're really going toe-to-toe with Team Hess out there this morning. Great to see. Not that we don't like to see Team Hess do well, but yeah, I'm happy to see Team Spain back in the competition and happy to see them having a strong game.
I turn it in. Okay.
Just caught a little bit too much curl there from Nicola Shaw, but that doesn't change what Mark was doing. We saw this last time, that he's thrown up that corner guard and he's determined to use it.
Pensaba que la he metido, me dicho que no. Entonces ha caído mucho. También.
And we've seen Reto Schonenberger
Den ist gut.
play this setup again and again. He throws up a lovely corner guard and then draws a stone really nicely around it. This one's coming in chunky. I think it is going to put his brakes on, but he's overthrown that a little bit. So plenty of space then for Team Spain to follow that red and could punch it through. So again, it looks like what Sergio is indicating is that plan A, let's just follow that red and neutralize it. You can either punch it through, or even if you just freeze on that red, that removes that danger. And plan B is to just touch that corner guard to the side. So as long as we've got the right weight, we're aiming for about backline weight, and as long as you've got the right weight, you should get a nice result here. You can see Eduardo watching it the whole way. Big sweep from the boys. I don't think they are around the guard, but that's exactly what they said as a plan B, and that works too. So that yellow rolled towards the centre. Corner guard is gone. And this is wise thinking from Sergio. He's really thinking it through stone by stone to say, okay, if we're not perfect, how can I still get a good result?
At a back 4, back 8.
And I think this is really Sergio's strength. As I said, Sergio's been around forever, even though he's still quite young. He's got tons of experience as a skip. He and the Spain team were vice world champions at the mixed competition in Canada about 3 years ago with Sergio skipping. And he really knows what he's doing. I think he really knows how to maximize their talents, does Sergio. So what do you do now? Team Hess has last stone, playing red. So you can do two things. You can either remove that red, no reds is no points, or you could do the more aggressive stone and play either onto your yellow or maybe put up a guard on the yellow at the front of house. But as I said, I fancy that Sergio's tactics will be slightly more defensive than the other teams here. And as we said in the first half of the game,
Fuerte.
that was absolutely
Fuerte,
working
Luis.
for them, just keeping everything clean.
Fuerte. Fuerte. Muy fuerte. Fuerte, Luis.
And this looks like another nice tidy throw from Eduardo de Paz. Good stuff.
Binnen.
Gaat een beetje hinderen klikken.
Zijn we maar dahinter?
Would be easy for Marco to simply remove that yellow now, but that doesn't really help them. Team Hess does have last stone playing red. There we are, you can see the score behind us. We've got 3 ends left, including this one.
Achtung!
And if Team Hess wants to win this game, they're going to have to start getting some reds in play. And the easiest way to do that, you could hit and roll from the yellow, but the easiest way probably is just like this, to just play T-line in behind that guard.
Nee, is goed. Juist daar weer voor natuurlijk.
Nice shot there from Simon Gluer. And yep, that's exactly what I would play. Sergio's indicating to just push that yellow back, or I quite like that yellow where it is. It's not a bad idea to play the same shot we've just seen from Simon Gluer. That yellow's still dangerous there, so you could also just leave it where it is and play the counterclockwise handle. But difficult to play defensive here, so this is the right calls. So we want to get a second yellow into play and try and neutralise that red. It is a little bit behind T, giving Spain a bit of space to play with.
Top 12! I don't see much more. Top 8!
I'm going to need a big sweep on this one.
Top 4, D.
They did a great job holding that line. I was worried that stone was going to curl right off, but that's pretty much exactly where they wanted it. Good stuff from Luis Gomez.
La he visto muy baja, pero tenías razón.
So 2 dangerous yellows now in the front rings for Team Hess.
No, érate.
Again, Marco can definitely remove these,
Con barrera tope.
but he's seen that Spain
Sin
are
barrer, sí.
on top of their defensive game today.
No, ze is net dom.
So that was a nice shot from Spain, but I do wonder if the better idea would have been to follow Team Hess on the counterclockwise handle, sorry, the clockwise handle, play the same kind of shot that we just saw from Simon Gluer, but let's see how it works out for them. Getting to the business end of this game, they were in the 6th end out of 8 ends. If the scores are tied after 8 ends, we will have an extra end. And we haven't had an extra end so far in the competition. Everyone seems to have got the memo that we really don't have time for that. Oh, that's one of those tricksy stones that spins itself back in again. Sergio VEZ not allowed to sweep that until it would be over the T-line. So having a think about this, again, I think there may not be an opportunity for defensive play here. I think, yeah, indeed, similar kind of shot to what they just played. The aggressive stones are certainly higher risk, but I'm not sure they have much choice at the moment, so I think, yeah, let's keep making sure we've got 2 yellows in there. Don't leave Team Hess a double takeout. So just the same kind of shot, please, from third thrower Luis Gomez. And if you're a Team Walstad fan, you will be happy to learn that they picked up a nice big 2 in the 5th end. There we are.
Okay.
You can see on the left of our screen That brings the score to 3 each. So if ever there was going to be an extra end, this session looks like it might be.
Back 4, back 8.
Back 4, back 8.
Back 8.
This looks like another lovely shot from Louis Gomez, really nice.
Same call.
Yeah.
Wenn der Rot auch geht und der Shooter bleibt, ist okay, oder?
I'm not sure which is shot though. I think it might still be red. Hard to tell from this angle. But look, all 4 of them now having a look at this.
Selbst wenn der Rot mitnimmst und der
This
Shooter
is
bleibt.
really good work. I'm so happy to see this from Spain team. Putting a lot of pressure on Hess. As I said, Hess would definitely be the favourite to win this game. Really glad to see this, that Spain team managing to put a lot of pressure on.
Ja, is goed. Ja.
Even though Team VEZ still looking for their first win this weekend. They had close games yesterday, but not quite picking up the wins. I'm sure Team Hess knows all about this Spain team. They will know that Sergio is very experienced, and I'm sure they would not have figured this was an easy game, not at all. Michaela in the chat's happy to see Team Walstad pulling that game back over there. Hashtag beanie magic. She's talking about Stefan's famous beanie hat. That has its own Twitter account. That's a great shot from Marco Hösli. Spain not quite getting exactly the right angle and giving Marco that opportunity. He's very good at those kind of shots, Marco. Get a nice double takeout, and not a huge weight. You don't need a big weight these days. You need your angles to work well. First off, skip stones then in the 6th end, or 4th stones rather. What Sergio needs now is a nice hit and roll. Otherwise, this situation is getting a little bit dangerous because that red right over on the wing could come into play. So nice hit and roll here, please.
Luis! Whoa! See Luis! Whoa! Whoa! See Luis! Forte! Forte! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ooh, that's got a big old curl. That's curled the wrong way. That big shot from Marco Hösli has really set up the scent quite nicely now for Team Hess. They're discussing whether they want to remove the yellow or whether they just want to draw another stone in behind that yellow guard on the right of the centre line. You could do that too. Only one more shot to come for Spain. That's what they'll be discussing, to say, okay, if we play like this, then what will Spain do?
Der ist wahrscheinlich ein bisschen zu schwierig. Das ist ein bisschen sehr weiter Roll wahrscheinlich, ne? Das ist so, ja.
Was der da?
I think I like that shot that Jan just pointed to, the hit and roll on the yellow, because then that will bring that red on the right of our screen, just hanging on to the rings. That will bring that back into play. While they're chitter-chattering, I can tell you more of what Spain have done over the years. Not Sergio's team, but a different Spanish team, skipped by Antonio Molinido. That would be about 7 or 8 years ago now, and that team from Spain, they battled their way to the A division in the European. They had a game against Russia in the B division for promotion, and I think maybe everyone except the 4 Spanish team, the 4 boys in the Spanish team, thought that Russia would probably be the stronger team, but no, they won that game, and up went Spain to the A division. Plenty of good stuff from Spanish curling over the years.
Ja, wenn wir da herrollen, ist es für ihn auch schwierig.
Das ist schwierig zum Durchkommen, ja.
Ja, das finde ich auch gut.
Also,
Ich glaube, der macht viel gut.
Stanley,
Ja.
sicher innen.
Looks like in our featured game then, that is the decision, is to remove that yellow and roll.
Stanley. Das ist für zum Höhe behalten noch gut.
What you need to do is roll a little bit to our left towards the centre. If you just hit this yellow on the nose, you do give Sergio VEZ the chance to just play a T-line and come and sit right on top of that red that's currently in the forefoot. So important where the shooter ends up.
Ja, ja. Ja. Wow. Ja. 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 Hard. Ja, ja.
Yes, no sweeping normally means the line is good.
Okay.
Nice effort from Jan. So a couple of things you could do. There is a double takeout possible
Yeah.
on those two reds.
Hello.
That looks like that's what Vice Skip Nicholas Shaw is looking at.
Ich habe mir eben nachher noch überlegt, wo ich gleich wieder auf einen Hit gewechselt bin.
I think that's probably the easier shot if you tried to play T-line. And as we said, you could just nudge up next to that red that's just behind T-line. If that shot goes wrong, you might be losing a 4, and that would be basically game over.
You go Pia.
So this is the right idea. We've seen Sergio make plenty of good hits already today. Losing a 2, not the end of the world, but losing a 4 is.
Reese. Whoa. Whoa, Eru.
Einfach von der dran.
Porteiro.
Muss gut haben.
Porteiro, porteiro.
Nicht schlecht.
He's not bad. Ah. Just jams. So easy shot really for Jan Hess here to score a big 3. A little bit disappointed for Sergio. He'd have hoped to make the double there and just accept losing 2 points, but they're going to lose an extra point, I think. Likely this will be 3 red, but still 2 ends to go, and I still think there's chances for Spain in this game. There you are. So if Jan Hess makes this stone, he just has to find the paint, as we would say in Scotland. He has to just land this stone anywhere in the rings. That will bring us to a score of 5-3. This looks pretty good.
Passt so. Sehr schön. Taxi.
That is a nice easy 3 points. That's always nice just to have a little practice draw. Yep. Right on the pin. So after 6 ends then in our featured game at the second ADELBODEN International, after 6 ends, it is a score of 5-3 to Team Hess over Team VEZ. That was another really patient end there from Team Hess. And that big stone from Marco Hösli brought all the reds into play, removed all the yellows, and gave them that chance. So don't give up Spain. 2 ends left. They've been playing really nicely so far. Two ends to go. 2 ends to go also on sheet A on our left. That was a score of 1 for Team Iseli in the 6th end, so they lead 4 points to 3 over Team Walstad. In our featured game here, it's a score of 5 points to 3 for Team Jan Hess over Team Sergio VEZ. On sheet C, still close stuff over there. It's 5 points to 4 for Team Matti over Team Hürlimann. And tight stuff over on sheet D as well. That was a 2 in the 6th end for Team Traub, making the score 3 points to 2 for Team Traub over Team Klima. So we've got 4 really tight games out there this morning. That's what we like to see. No extra ends in the competition so far. The teams seem to have got the memo that We don't have time for that. Busy day. 5 draws.
Yeah. Jan. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit unlucky Spain there to lose a 3 rather than 2. But they can definitely get 2 points back here. So concentrate now, Spain. Every stone counts. But what about these young Italian teams that are visiting this competition for the first time? We're used to seeing Joe Returnaz's team. Everybody knows that's one of my favourite teams to cheer for. We love to watch them. They're in Scotland this weekend. And we have 2 young teams from Italy who are coming through. That's Team Rizzoli and Team Colli. Both of them doing really nicely in this competition. Both picked up a couple of wins. So maybe Joel's team might have a couple of younger teams snapping at their heels, keeping them on their toes. And also Team Nyman from Sweden, they're just quietly picking up win after win. They had a big 9-1 win this morning. And they have won all 3 of their games so far. So I have an idea that they may already be qualified for the quarter-final. They have 1 more game against André Schnider. That will be a lot of fun. That's this afternoon at 2 o'clock, but I have an idea that Team Nyman, with 3 wins out of 3 so far, I think that may be enough to qualify them already for this evening. So really nice stuff from them, the young team from Sweden. And Team Glukovh, the Russian team that were recently did very well at the World Championship. They've also won 3 out of 3, and I think they have also already qualified for quarterfinals this evening. They also have 1 more game at 2 o'clock, and that actually will be our featured game. That will be our first time watching the Russian team. They will be playing young Team Iseli, another Swiss team. So do join us again. That's the next draw after this one. That's at 2 o'clock European. So just time to go and have some lunch and then come back for the next round. And then there's 1 more round robin game at 5 o'clock European. The featured game will be Team Hösli against Team Dean Hürlimann. I think Team Hösli also have won all 3 of their games so far, and I think they are already qualified for this evening as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's at 9 o'clock this evening, European time. That will be the quarterfinals here at the 2nd ADELBODEN International. Back here in our featured game, we're watching Team Hess of Switzerland against Team VEZ of Spain. I think Team Hess's experience and consistency maybe just starting to show a little bit. They had a really well worked end there in the 6th to score a nice big 3, and they're very nicely set up here in the 7th end. But still guards in play, that's what Sergio needs. Just playing these nice controlled weights to keep stones lying around. That's what they need. They need guards out front to hide behind. They need stones in the house to provide backing. Second stone in the 7th end for Simon Glure. Looks like they want to just replace that guard. Team Hess would love it if either they can maybe steal a point in this end, or if they can force Spain to only score 1 point. That would be a perfect scenario for them. But a little bit of a misstep from Simon Glure. That's not really where they wanted it. That stone's is not really covering the reds. As you can see, Spain can see both of those reds, and it's only just over the hog line, so that wasn't quite what you needed. Maybe a bit of a tired shot there. So nice opportunity for Spain here. Yeah, you can definitely move both of those reds around and get a second yellow into play in the rings. That's exactly what they need. Spain really want to try and score 2 here at a minimum. Only scoring 1 would make their life quite difficult, but if they can score 2, I think they still have chances in this game. There, that nice controlled weight. We don't need a huge weight here. Oh, you heard an exasperated sigh from Sergio. Indeed, that was unlucky there, that they just didn't quite curl as much as they wanted with that stone. And the result was that red just sprung right across in front of that yellow. That is unlucky.
Oh yeah. Fuerza iba bien, ¿eh?
Ja.
Easy medio. Yes.
Genau, ja. Speelt Sammy.
Yeah.
Oh! Achtung!
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa!
Spain have last stone in the 7th end.
Whoa! Reto!
whoa, retto, ja. Carlo.
Harde! Goed die lengte iets up!
As I said, they really do want to make 2 points. If the score is 5 each going into the last end, I think Spain do have a chance to steal 1 point. I think if the score is 5-4, well, if they steal 1 point, they would get an extra end, but I would really rather see them get a 2 here. Yeah, unfortunately, that unlucky roll with the previous shot. I think now that yellow, which is just next to Sergio, just at the back of the forefoot, I don't think they're going to be able to bring that back into play. So let's just put that out of our minds and start building something else. He could certainly use that red as backing. So again, looks like that nice controlled weight. We need stones hanging around. We want to use that red
Back 12.
to bounce off at a good angle. Nice strong sweeper Spain have. That will be really helping them. This one's caught a big old curl, but looks pretty nice. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what they wanted to do. Just use that red to bounce in. Good stuff.
No.
Goed, ja.
Spain doing everything they can to give themselves chances to win this game. Keep in touch at least with Team Hess. That's exactly what they need, is stones in play. So that's just move that yellow away from the red, and maybe now there's more space to move the reds around. Really nice stone there again from Luis Gomez. He's having a lovely game.
Dan is schwierig. Ja, ik vind de freeze oké. Freeze oder der?
Pass op, het is nog niet zo mega goed.
Ja, dat is scheiße.
So after lunch, we will be watching the game between Iseli and Team Glukovh, the Russian team. That will be our first look at them. They are already qualified for quarterfinals this evening. Let's see what
Vind je ook goed, ja?
kind of game they are playing. And then we shall have a pause for the 5 o'clock game. And we will have the split screen watching
Goed.
Team Hösli, also already qualified, against Team Hürlimann. And then we shall be back to all watch together the quarterfinals at 9 o'clock this evening. That's often my favourite session, 4 exciting games all at once. So if you're not sure what to do with your day, we can keep you company all day long. Now then, what's the idea for Team Hess? Is the angle there to remove that yellow? It is. I wonder if Marco Hösli plays billiards or something. He just finds these angles and pops the stone through the tiniest of gaps. Big smile from Jan Hess, yeah, I'm not surprised. That's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen him do that in this game. Marco Hösli just finding lovely angles and no weight at all. You know, he's, I don't think of Marco as a huge hitter exactly. I think of him as a real shot maker. And again, Sergio and Team Spain working their socks off to try to give themselves chances. Sounds like something similar would work. Ah, okay, that's a nice idea too, to try and split that stone in. End up with 2 yellows in the front after this shot. That's a nice idea. And again, if you have the right weight, you will surely have options, even if the line is not quite correct or not quite perfect. It will make a big difference in the 7th end whether Spain can pick up a 2 or if they can only pick up 1. The path much more difficult if you can only pick up a 1. So working so hard to give themselves a chance at picking up 2. I think he's just turned that in. Is it going to be neither one nor the other? That's not a bad result. He didn't catch the edge of the yellow guard that he wanted to, but he did have the right weight, backline weight, as the sweepers were calling. So his result is that little yellow is just hanging on over there on the left. And maybe they can bring that into play. I'm not sure if it's beating that red on the right of our screen. You can see the 2 reds there at front. There's definitely 1 red there in the front ring. I'm not sure if that is currently 2nd stone. But definitely Spain cannot afford to lose this end. They do not want Team Hess scoring. Minimal Team Spain wants a 1. And then they would have to steal 1 to go to an extra end. So still a path to win this game for Spain, definitely. But plenty of hard work between there and the end of the game. And that yellow shot stone just next to Marco's brush. I don't think that will be there too much longer. Then again, well now, that's the 1 stone that didn't catch a big curl towards the end. So come on, Spain. I feel like the curling gods are trying to give you little chance to stay in this game.
Really hard, and we got to try and get just 2. Leave him the hit. The only thing I don't like about this is if he ends up doing that. If he makes it, then we're Yep. Okay.
You may be able to hear Nicholas and Sergio. Sergio completely fluent in English, and sounds like Nicholas is an English speaker. They're discussing right through to the final stone of this end, and that's absolutely correct. So if we play this, then what does he do? Then what do we do? 3 stones to come. 2 for Spain, 1 for Team Hess of Switzerland. So come on, Sergio. Big chance here to set up a 2.
Línea bien. Edu. Edu, línea. Línea es buena. Vale. Aquí línea. Edu.
No trouble with the line. He's definitely around the guard. The sweeper's keeping eyes on the weight.
Oh, just here.
And they're saying, stop now, stop. We don't want it to be too close to that other yellow. I think that's a nice effort from Sergio. You can see it curls so much that he's actually curled all the way around the guard and out the other side. That's how curly ice is these days. But I don't see an easy double takeout for Jan Hess here. I'm not sure that's possible. Yeah, I think he has to play on that yellow, just thrown by Sergio, and find a good hiding place for the red. His shooter red. But nice play here from Spain, taking advantage of that missed first stone from Jan Hess.
I mean, I'd like if it was like half a rock this way, so you only show like a little bit more.
This is good practice for Team Hess. As we said, these 4 guys, so Team Hess with Marco Hösli, they will play the Universiade Games in December, which will be held here in Switzerland, in Luzern. They will be representing Switzerland. So this is good practice for them.
I would just make sure I hit one, give us 2, and take
tough shots to face.
Tied in last 10 with hammer. It's not bad.
So I imagine... Actually, I'm not sure which way they want the shooter to go. Definitely they want to remove this yellow. I'm not sure if rolling in behind the centre would help them, or whether that second yellow would still be shot. So no trouble with the guard this time. Okay.
I'll give you a bit more. Or you like the same? Okay.
But looks like Sergio VEZ is going for the direct draw. He's ignoring that red. And that tells me that the yellow, just behind the tee, that must be already 1 point. And Sergio VEZ doing the right thing there. Let's just stay away from that red. The danger is, if you try to hit that red through, the danger is you would catch your own yellow. So this is the right decision from Sergio. He needs a dead draw to the 4-foot. And as we said, that's Skip's job. Sergio expects to have to make these kind of shots. Doesn't need to be anywhere near the guard, but exactly the same shot he just played. Same weight, please. So nowhere near the guard, he's fine for that. Right, come on boys, make sure. Make sure, boys. The sweeper's closely guarding that the whole way. Lovely stuff from Spain. Look at that, 2 points straight back. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Spain. Of course, not that I don't like to see Team Hess do well, I definitely do, but tough day for Team Spain yesterday, so this is really nice to see them having such a good game out there this morning. Smiles all round. Really great stuff from Spain, well worked, taking full advantage of Jan Hess's first stone, just feathering that guard. Now, we all know the drill for this. This essentially is an extra end because the scores are tied. It's a one-end shootout. Tactics will be identical as if it was an extra end. I'm sure we will see Nicholas Shaw throw a couple of nice guards, and I'm sure we will see Reto Schönenberger try to move them off the centre line. We saw Reto do a couple of really nice tick shots yesterday. So first things first, nice short guard please from Nicholas Shaw. Typically we would see this one drop just over the hog line. But what we don't want is that it drops just short of the hog line. I think no chance of dropping short. This looks pretty nice by itself. That's fine. That's a little bit further than they might have wanted, but in the free guard zone, and that's the important part. And indeed, Reto Schöneberger being asked for about backline weight. He wants to move this yellow, but isn't allowed to put it out of play. Slightly worrying news for Walstad fans next door. You can see the score on sheet A over there. That was a steal of 1 for the Italian team Rizzoli in the 7th end. So they're also in their 8th end. You can see the stones building over there. That's a score of 5-3 for Team Rizzoli against Team Walstad. So Team Walstad needing 2 points in their 8th end to take that game to an extra end.
Okay.
And no chance of an extra end in our featured game. Scores are already tied after 7. It's 5 points each after 7 ends. A nice effort from Reto Schöneberger here in our featured game, but it does still leave that red out front, which helps Sergio VEZ. So same kind of shot from Nicola Shaw. Oh, he doesn't look too happy with that. He's had a really good game so far today. As he had a bit of a rush of blood to the head with this one. He has. So that's just run on a bit, but actually for a bit of a misplayed shot, not a terrible result. Now, that red stone, it is in the free guard zone, but you're allowed to remove your own stones from the free guard zone. That's okay. And that's why Reto's previous shot was a really nice one. Because although there is still a guard there, it's a red guard, so he can go ahead and just remove that. Oh, and look at that. For a little bonus, he gets the short stone in the house. But again, he has left that stone out front. So I guess Sergio will probably want a second guard, yep. He's asking for another guard that's just over the hog line to try and keep big separation between the stones, make a double takeout difficult. So all of our games on the 8th end, as I said, on sheet A, it's a score of 5 points to 3 for Team Rizzoli over Team Walstad. Here in our featured game, it's 5 points all. On sheet C, it's a score of 6-5 to Dean Hürlimann over Matti. That's a lovely shot from Spain. Really well done. Great sweep, boys. And up now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice stuff. So yeah, 6-5 to Dean Hürlimann over Team Matti on sheet C. Team Matti have last stone there. And on sheet D, it's 4 points to 3 for Team Klima over Team Traub. And Team Traub have last stone. So 4 exciting finishes out there.
Yeah.
Free guard zone is over in our featured game. Well tried, they say to Simon Glua. Really trying to find that double takeout on the 2 guards, and that would really help pushing this game over the line for Team Hess. Didn't quite find it that time, so Sergio VEZ will persist with this idea. You can see how important it is that the stones are as far apart as possible to make that double takeout as difficult as possible for Team Hess. So copy paste, please. Eduardo de Paz. Sweepers look pretty happy with it. Eduardo maybe not quite so happy with it. Yeah, it's run on just a little bit more. He's made that double a little bit more possible.
igual si dice no.
Ich öffne den Ball auseinander.
That just shows us how difficult it is really to be so precise with the stone placement. That's what's needed. Otherwise, these big boys are very capable of double takeout on the guards. But it is really difficult to be so precise. Big weight from Simon Gluer for his second shot in this 8th end. He's got it this time. And that really helps to push this game towards the line for Team Hess. So Sergio knows what to do from here. He may not get too many more chances to steal this end, but they'll do their best to still try to get a miss from Team Hess, try to give himself a chance to steal. Team VEZ have the afternoon off actually. This will be their final game in this competition. I'm happy to see they've had such a strong showing this morning. Tough to see them managing to steal the game from here, but you never know. Yeah, they haven't really done too much wrong in this 8th end. They're doing the best they can to keep stones in play.
Eso es. Que va un poco más que piensa, sí.
But no trouble there for Marco Hösli. So we'll see this a couple of times more. Sergio will ask for a tight guard, just close to the house. And if he can get a mistake from Marco Hösli or Jan Hess, maybe they, instead of peeling the stone, so the guard stone goes out as well as your stone going out, if they would accidentally hit a guard on the nose, they may still have a small chance to steal the game from there.
Dos, tres. Limpia.
¿Qué?
Tres, tres. Yeah, no, aquí here.
And again, this looks like exactly where they called it. Working hard to the very end to give themselves a chance.
Oh man, my second draw sucked. You don't need to tell me. Good.
Yep. Clean.
But same shot from Marco.
Okay.
So we may see one more effort from Sergio to try to get a miss on that guard.
Go ahead, Marco.
Then Jan Hess will surely remove the guard. Then Sergio will play just off centre, offset off the centre line, probably in the 8 foot. And give Jan Hess the choice. Does he want to try a hit or does he want to outdraw it?
Es buena. Vale, wow. Solo tres. Sí. Luis.
So one more guard from Team Spain.
Solo tres, ¿eh?
One more chance
Va bien.
for Team Hess to make a mistake with it. The likelihood is Jan Hess will peel this guard, so that means removing the guard and rolling out his own stone as well.
Yeah. Whoa. Easy. Easy. It's good.
Everyone happy with that. And for his last stone, there we go.
Okay. Yep.
He won't put the stone in the centre, Sergio, otherwise it's an easy hit and stick for Jan Hess. He wants it a little bit further away from the centre line and force Jan Hess to make a decision whether he wants to try the hit and stick, but with a slightly higher risk of rolling out, or whether he wants to try to outdraw the stone. Giving themselves the chance to hang in this game, Spain. That's all they can do. Easy, easy. I think that's there all by itself. No need for sweeping.
No.
That's really good work from Sergio VEZ. So now you can see, yeah, there's a decision. You can hit and stick on this stone. That seems to be exactly what he'll do. I think that would be my choice as well. I think that's easier if you have a target like that, to just hit that stone and stick where it was rather than trying to draw the 4 foot yourself. There's more chance of error, more chance of missing that one. And there's always the possibility that Jan Hess might hit and roll out, and then we would go to an extra end. So Spain really fighting to the last stone to give themselves a chance. Clean, normally good. And I think he's got it just nicely. He has.
Thank you. Okay. Good luck. Thanks, guys. Good luck.
So really exciting game for us this morning.
Thanks. Good luck.
Team Spain fighting to the very last stone there. I hope they're happy with themselves, Spain. Again, they've had a couple of tough games yesterday as well. I really enjoyed watching them this morning. I think they were doing plenty of good stuff out there. As I said, Team Jan Hess, they would be one of the favourites to make the semis or even the final of this competition. So all the pressure on them, and I think Spain put up a really good fight there. But in the end, that last shot from Jan Hess, no trouble, just that nice hit and stick. So everybody doing a last stone draw for the next round. This has nothing to do with the game. The game's already won by Team Hess. They won by 6 points to 5 over a really brave effort from Team Spain. Everyone else also on their 8th end. So if we just hang on a minute longer, we can see how the other games work out as well. And then it's not long actually until the next round. The next round is at 2 o'clock, so just about 45 minutes. You'll see the umpires go and measure this stone. That's the draw shot challenge to decide last stone for the next round. As Team VEZ, they have a bye in the next round, so their competition finished for this weekend, but Team Hess has one more game against Team Traub at 5 o'clock this afternoon. That won't be such an easy game for Team Hess either, I don't think. But at 2 o'clock, so in just about 45 minutes time, we will be watching Team Iseli, the young Swiss team, against Team Glukovh, the Russian team. Team Glukovh already qualified for quarterfinals later. They have won 3 out of their 3 games so far. And it will be interesting to see how they're playing. First time that we've had a look at them for the weekend. can see that the game next door, the game between Walstad and Iseli, that's getting to last stones in their 8th end. Team Walstad needing 2 points to take that to an extra end. And I'm afraid I've got the same angle as you this weekend. I can't tell you anything else of what's going on sheet A. And I think we may need to stop the stream here, but you can catch up with the final scores from this round. You can catch up with those on worldcurlingtour.org. We are going to go away and have lunch and set up for our next stream beginning at 2 o'clock European, so in just about 45 minutes time. And thank you very much for joining us this morning. Do join us again for the next round in 45 minutes, and bye for now.